Mayzy and I'm the founder of the Single and Ready Club. We are very passionate about educating people on very important matters of life: love, marriage, family, relationships generally. We believe that there is a lot that people need to know to make it work. Okay? So we have some answers for you, and sit back, stay glued to your screen, okay? And enjoy the answers to this pertinent question. I'll see you in a moment. Thank you.
For me, compatibility starts with convictions. What are your convictions about everything? What do you believe about this? What do you believe about that? So I think that's first of all where we meet, about convictions, compatibility, before you start looking at the physical things that, okay, character-wise, can you live with this person? Physical attributes, then the other things about blood work and tests and all the other things that people talk about, genes and all of that, what is it called? Blood group and all that, genotype. But first of all, convictions. What are your convictions? Do we share the convictions about important things? And for me, that's very crucial. For me, so I will leave compatibility at the level of convictions. What do we believe about important things? Do we share? For example, I've met people who are Christians though, but they have different persuasions and convictions about certain things in the Christian faith. And you see them, okay, let's say, will it work out? Okay, let's try to see if we can work this out. But they hit a brick wall. And if they eventually get married, or when they get married, it becomes a problem. When somebody, for the marriage to work, has to swallow up and throw away his or her convictions for peace to reign. And is it fair to throw away your convictions or let somebody else suppress their convictions because of marriage? So I think compatibility is has a lot to do with our convictions about the things we believe and things we understand.
Compatibility, I would say, is flowing together, getting along easily. A couple must be ready to work together, to do things together. Yeah. Some of the things that can help it is this issue of being willing to overlook, the weaknesses of another person. But basically, compatibility, being able to move along together, that will be helpful in any relationship, because if it's not there, the relationship cannot last.
Compatibility among couples. Compatibility among couples is simply couples being able to get along with each other. It means being comfortable with each other. It means being together. And so you can't really be with someone that annoys you all the time. Somebody just drives you crazy. That means you guys are not compatible. You can't be in a relationship with someone that you don't have similar goals and visions, or you don't have similar plans for your life. And like a scenario I knew of where the guy was thinking long term and the girl was just okay with the now. And yes, they enjoyed talking together, they enjoyed each other's company, but they weren't aligned in the long run. Values and all, they weren't really aligned. So eventually the relationship broke. You understand? So I don't know. For me, compatibility is just being able to be with somebody, get along with them, be comfortable around them. You don't have to like the same things, but you just know how to work together. You just know how to make it make sense. You understand? You just have to know how to enjoy their presence, enjoy their company. So yeah, I think that's what compatibility in relationships is about.
Yes, compatibility is more of understanding. What works for your parents may not work for you. You have to come into a new family unit. You have to put an understanding. Your wife is not your mother. So in terms of compatibility, I think Many people think that we marry, marriage is a strong man, a strong person marrying a weak person. No, marriage is for two strong people that come together to become even stronger. So in terms of compatibility, you should look at the area. I believe that the area that you have strength, you continue on that. The area that you're weak, then you need a wife to help you in those areas. So the truth is that you don't have to put so much energy in your weakness when somebody can help you around. So in terms of compatibility, I want to look at what areas do I need to improve? Does she have this area so that when we come together, we're able to chase 10,000 to fly, not 1,000. So this is key. For me personally, I know that I was not the kind of person that is very stable with doing home assignment, this daddy that is always at home. I knew I was going to be a kind of non-resident father, that's the way it is. So I wanted a wife that loves children enough to see that she can train them, not one that is following me to do music, I'm going to preach, she's going to, this kind of thing. I wanted somebody that could bring a balance to my life. So when you look at compatibility, all you're just saying balance, that will bring a balance to you, whether you as the male and the female. That's what I think that should be.
Compatibility, I feel, is something that you kind of have to look at very carefully, because if someone is exactly like you, it's not exactly going to be the most exciting thing all the time. You're going to like the same things all the time. You're going to want to eat at the same restaurants all the time. You're going to want to have the same vacation spots all the time. And for some people, that's very fine. And then for others, that would be too much of the same thing all the time. It becomes too predictable and they could easily get bored. I think a good balance of I like what I like what you like, and then we like what we like helps in a relationship, so that you kind of have a little bit of excitement here and there. Oh, I'd like to listen to this, or I'd like to watch this movie. I know when I first got married, my husband is very much into action movies. So in every movie we would watch, somebody would have to die. And it would usually be violent. And I could not understand how a pastor would be so interested in it. People were dying by the sword in every movie, lots of war, lots of battles. And I just thought to myself, God, he's such a violent person. But that was not the case. It just happened to be his taste in movies. I like romantic comedies. I like to laugh. I like happy endings. And so we now had to find a way to balance that out. So maybe this weekend we're watching some scary war-torn movie where at least 300, 400 people, there's blood splattering on the camera movie. And then the next weekend I'd be watching like a Julia Roberts or Hugh Grant type of movie. But now what happens is that I now like action movies. So, and then I now watch soccer all the time, and I don't have a problem with watching Chelsea, Man U. I enjoy it. Even when he's not there, I watch soccer games. So it's not really so much, you can pretty much marry anybody, even if you're not compatible with them, or if you're just exactly like them. You just have to make it work, spice things up once in a while, and then just find ways that you can, because the main thing is the quality time together. And how do you do that? You have to be unselfish. You have to be ready to, you'll watch a little, you'll do this one here, you'll do that one there. I might want to do a vacation in somewhere that's very exciting. I want to go bungee jumping. I want to do all sorts of crazy things. He might be the kind of person that just wants to sleep on vacation. He's tired. He's working all the time. He might just want to go and relax, hang out on the beach, hang out by the pool, go out for nice dinners. So it might be that you just have to find a balance. Maybe he'll go, one day you'll do bungee jumping. The next day you'll do sleep, relax. It's all really about balance and making sure that you give as much as you're taking. Well, some people say you should give 100% on each side. And I think that's good too, because what happens is that you're able to find balance in the end, and you don't have to compromise so much. But compromise is not a bad word. In marriage, compromise is fine, because you're both from two different environments. So you have to make it work. If you really want to be in a happy marriage and relationship, you have to be ready to make it work. And that could mean doing things that you may not be comfortable with initially or used to. But after a while, you just find yourself wanting to do them because you just want to spend quality time with the person. And that's really all that matters, the moments and the memories that we make with the person. So I don't know if that answered the question, but that's what marriage is. It's a lot of work. It's not for kids.
Compatibility. Compatibility. When a couple is able to work together, and you have the same aim, you have the same goal, you are going in the same direction, I think to me that simplifies compatibility.
Compatibility amongst couple, when the couple feel free with each other, they are not pretending to be somebody else, they like to work together, they like to help each other, and they want to do things together. That is compatibility. Nobody is trying to force himself on the other.
Okay, compatibility, the concept of compatibility, I've never been an advocate of that because I just believe that people change. But yes, it's important to look out for certain areas, of commonality in relationship, in friendship, and in marriage. Like I already said, from criteria for you to be with someone, I think faith, hope, and love are also very important. You must be able to have those conversations to understand the person's faith, because that's very important to understand, how they see Jesus. Because I've come to learn that people see Jesus differently. Some people can have Jesus in their heart and still curse at you and feel okay. Some others just feel like, this Jesus, I need to become this Jesus, and that's their goal. And so that becomes like a common ground. So if someone has that true image of Jesus in their heart, that becomes one area of commonality. The other thing I was talking about with the faith, hope, and love thing is that you need to also see the person's dream and their purpose, and that is important in compatibility, because you don't want to have someone who's dreaming to be like a pastor or an evangelist, and you have a lady who wants to be like a bikini model, and that's a total mismatch. So it's important you have that kind of conversation, and then you understand where you're going and how you're going to journey there. Those are areas of commonality that is important if you ever want to have that conversation about compatibility. The other thing is to have the same rule book and principles for living. To have the same rule book and principle for living. So there are people who they are their own rule book, so they come up with their own principles for everyday living, and that may not work well for some of us. So you want to find someone who takes the Bible as their rule book. So whenever they come to a place where they are confused and lack understanding, they will go back like a compass. They will go back to the Bible and learn what the Bible says about that kind of thing, and then be able to route from there. That is important if we ever have the conversation about compatibility. And then the general principles for living too. You want to make sure those principles are the same, and working together. I usually will say that, arranged marriages in the Bible used to work out for very simple reasons. These people had the same God, Yahweh, most times. And so because of that, they were already very much alike. These people came from the same tribe. Most of the time they were Jews, even though they had not met each other before. But the Jews had the same set of principles. They had the 10 Commandments as their rule book. And that became like, even before they had met. Because they were routing from the same principles, and they essentially had the same culture and the same God. So it became easy for them to live together. So if we ever have the conversation about compatibility, it has to be about the rule books that both parties work from, the principles that they lead their life with, and also, their dreams and purposes.
Compatibility.
Compatibility means the extent to which two couples can flow together, can, achieve goals together, and understand themselves together. That's compatibility about couples. The extent to which they understand themselves, they know themselves, and they're able to flow in that direction. Because there are some couples that what can go for A will not go for the other, for B. So one will say, oh, these people, when they joke, they insult themselves. So you want to try it in your own relationship by insulting your own spouse, and then you'll be surprised to see something different, So compatibility is how both of you understand yourself, how both of you discuss, how both of you flow, how you're able to achieve your goals together. That's compatibility among couples.
Welcome back, and I hope you enjoyed that episode. Alright, don't forget we have a lot of value to share with you. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we have a new post. Okay? Also follow us on our social media handles on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Telegram with the name Single and Ready Club. We will love to share value. Thank you so much. See you in the next episode.